Welcome back to Doc's Hot Shop and Forge. So today was supposed to be about forging the collar onto the post for the post anvil. However, things didn't quite go according to plan. As you can see, I've still got two very separate pieces of metal. And after I show you what I did and what transpired, we'll go over why it happened and how to manage it when it does happen. This one is really important, so I really do advise you to watch to the end. And welcome to all the new subscribers. We seem to have gained like 100 in the last couple of days, a week or so. So yes, we are running the 750 subscriber hammer giveaway. Link up here to the video where you can enter. But today we are going to continue working on the 15th century post anvil. So we've got the material for the stake welded up. What we need to do now is square it up, because it's 400-ish, 40 millimeters, which is shade over an inch and 5/8, I guess, just a shade over that, by about 50 millimeters, so 2 inches. So we need to get that down a bit, squish out the sides, and also work in these seams. They're unsightly. Once we've got that done, and we'll only do that for approximately that much of it, because we want to leave it as wide as we can, because it's actually going to be, if you're thinking about the shape of an anvil, this forms the bit that goes down to the feet. So it'll be in this orientation with the laminations in the long axis of the working face. And so we need to then split this section so that we can make a nice big scarf that goes into the piece that will be the working face. Today I hope to get most of this squared down. I want to get rid of these up here anyway, but I also want to get the collar welded on, and probably at least a little start on the taper for the post that goes into the stump. Now this end is a little bit burnt and funky, but that should be okay. But that's where we're at, so let's keep going. Let's get the fire lit, eh? My smallest pair of bolt tongs, V-bits, the biggest pair. Hopefully, now that I've modded these, they'll fit the shank billet a bit better and give me a lot more control. Just cleaning up what will be the material for the collar. As much of this crap off as I can. So yesterday I did something a bit silly. I used this one, as you can see by the nice shiny pin, one-handed. I've never actually used this hammer before. So I'm going to baby my arm a little bit today and not use this hammer. Basically this is about as big as I dare use one-handed. Alright, let's see how these tongs hold up. watching. Because it hasn't been consolidated this end properly yet. Or has it? I can't remember. We'll flux it anyway, and then get it proper welding heat and start squishing things down. That'll also allow me to get some of the deeper, more burnt-in scale off. Hot again. Okay, so I think we're pretty much where we want to be for figuring out where to put the collar. So let's make the collar, and if we've got enough coke, we'll get it welded in place, and then we'll start drawing out the hole, which will also give us something that's easier to hold on to for when we come to splitting this end in the next part. Alright, this one can cool off a little bit. Start making up that collar. Because this will be welded, good idea, a scarf the other end, okay? Alright, so we need about that much. Let's get that hot again. Ideally, you do this as an upset corner. But to be frank, I don't think I've got the material. Or the coke to do it. Alright. Okay. Measure out, and the next bit goes.
was stupid.
So, what you just saw was me touching the shank of the anvil, which was, at that time, at a black heat. So probably somewhere in the 400 to 500 degree range. Hot enough that the Leidenfrost effect, the boiling of the water actually as part of my skin, formed a thin layer insulating me from the hot metal. Some of the fats in my skin made things incredibly slick. That was the thing I noticed. I didn't notice the heat, didn't notice that I was in pain. I noticed that the metal was slick. And the first thought was, why is that metal oily? And then the penny dropped. Oh, that was just at welding heat a few minutes ago. So why did this happen? This happened because I'm currently on night shifts. I am fatigued, I'm tired, and frankly, you shouldn't be doing these things when you are tired. I literally forgot the one cardinal rule of the smithy. Everything is hot. And that's all there is to it. So how do you remember that everything is hot? You practice. You keep saying that to yourself. Because sooner or later, you will be in the situation where something does go wrong. So, like you saw today, when something goes wrong, your first thoughts are first aid. So for this type of burn, which was quite a superficial burn, very partial thickness, in fact, no blistering at all. So this is seven days later, no blistering, no broken skin. The skin of my index finger feels a little bit leathery. There's a tiny bit of leathery sensation to the tip of the middle finger, but the thumb is otherwise perfectly fine. And these are the sorts of burns that you should only be trying to manage at home. Anything more severe than this and covering a larger surface area or joint, and this one was very close to covering a joint line, needs professional management in an emergency department setting. So what are your initial management skills that you need to practice? You need to cool this thing down. You need to cool your burn. So for these sort of burns, it's 20 minutes under cool running water, no ice, cool running water. If you don't have cool running water, you should use a sequence of wet compresses so that you can wick away that heat. It's not as effective as running water, but it will work. What you don't put on in the initial phase is oils, fats, ointments, skin creams and that sort of thing. They do have a role to play, but it's down the track. So, 20 minutes of cool running water. What's next? Pain control. These sort of burns are fantastically painful, especially on a surface like your fingertips, which for the ball of your thumb has the same amount of nerve endings as your entire back. So they are fantastically painful. So you need adequate pain relief. So in the home, that's usually paracetamol or acetaminophen, and ibuprofen if you've got it. The ibuprofen works really well at stopping the inflammation that actually causes blistering. Stronger pain relief is something that you leave to a doctor to actually. So, how do you decide when to seek professional medical assistance for your burn? There are three things to keep in mind: size, depth, and is there broken skin or a joint line involved. So anything over 9%, no matter the severity, you should seek medical advice. If you've got blistering or broken skin, you should seek medical advice, especially if those blisters are broken. And if you've got anything that goes below blistering, so if you've got the deeper tissues of the skin exposed, you have to seek medical advice. Joint lines are really important because when it heals, the scarring will pull the flexing surfaces together, and you'll end up with a contracture and you won't be able to open your hand or bend your elbow or so on. So those are the important points. Cool running water, 20 minutes. Cold compresses, but not ice packs. 15 minutes on, 15 minutes off. This is more pain relief related than treating the actual burn. Simple analgesics are paracetamol, acetaminophen and ibuprofen. And seek medical advice if in doubt. Post-acute management is keep the skin intact. So this is where moisturizing agents come into play, like sorbeline creams, Vaseline, just to keep that skin integrity for as long as possible. This sort of burn that I suffered would heal in 4 to 7 days. In fact, the video you saw last week, making the little Christmas gnomes, was shot on day 4. The hand had actually functionally healed. Anything where you've got broken skin will take between 7 and 21 days to heal, and anything bigger or worse than that will take infinitely longer and may require skin grafting. So you need medical attention. So, to bring this back on topic, the next steps for this, now that I've healed my burns, is to fold this in on itself so we get a little more mass into it, because I think we need a slightly bigger collar for this. So that'll be the next video, forging this into a single shorter bar. If I get it right, I'll weld it onto the shank straight away. So that's the plan for the next video. I still have to work on the top of the anvil. That's probably a couple of videos in and of itself, which will encompass welding on the faceplate. So, feel free to give this video a thumbs up. Feel free to share on social media. And if you haven't already subscribed, I'd love it if you hit that subscribe button. We are doing a giveaway at the moment for 750 subscribers milestone. There's a link at the beginning up in the top corner. So get out to your shop. Have fun. But really, do stay safe and mind those hot surfaces. Anything in a blacksmith shop is hot until proven otherwise. But above all else, stay safe, and I'll catch you for the next one.